You're listening to KCPR the Rec, your place to recreate, with your host, Caitlin, Jonathan, and Joe.
Hey there, welcome to KCPR the Rec. Today's podcast, we're going to feature a conversation about pay-to-play sports. We'll tell you what's on deck for Parks and Rec, and of course, give you a national day for today.
Today's National Day.
All right, so today's National Day is Chocolate Chip Day. So, Jonathan, so we know that you like to have a cheat day every now and again. I know I do too.
Yeah, why not?
So, how are you going to celebrate Chocolate Chip Day?
Well, I'm going to celebrate Chocolate Chip Day by imagining all of the delicious things that I like to add chocolate chips into. I've had a few too many cheat days recently, so I'm going to pass this time. But I will dream about all the delicious chocolate chip things that I like to eat. What's your favorite, Joe?
So I like the mini chocolate chips, or things with chocolate chips in it.
I was thinking things with chocolate chips, but if you want to talk about which kind of chocolate chip you like the most.
You can add chocolate chips to anything. You can add chocolate chips too.
Have you had
cookies.
the Ghirardelli chocolate chips?
No.
The semi-sweet ones?
I'm more of a Nestle guy.
Oh, I see.
The little tiny mini ones. So it makes you feel like you're not eating as much, but you're just eating a whole bunch of little ones that kind of equal out to the same size as a normal chocolate chip.
I got you.
So,
you're quantity over quality.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not eating that many. I'm only eating like 10 mini ones, but it's probably the same amount as 4 big chocolate chips.
All right, ready? Chocolate chips and pancakes.
Ooh, no, not a fan. They get all melty, and they make the pancakes all spongy and kind of gross, and they're kind of that weird kind of level where if you put syrup on, they're kind of gonna get all kind of gross, and and then add the chocolate in there. I'm just a plain Jane pancake guy.
Oh, fair enough. So then, what's your favorite thing to add chocolate chips to?
Favorite things to add chocolate chips to? I would have to say muffins and cookies. Pretty much. A normal muffin, just chocolate chip muffin and chocolate chip cookies. It's anything they're good on everything. Pretty much.
Except pancakes, apparently.
Except pancakes. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the pancakes.
Okay.
Throw them on waffles are good, but not in my pancakes. You can stay away from them.
Into the Rec Room.
All right, so today we want to have a conversation about pay-to-play sports, and we thought who better to join in on this conversation than our very own director, Jeremy Shepard.
Hey!
Wow, thanks, guys. Thanks. I'd also like to make note, before we even get started here, of what a wonderful job you guys have done decorating the rec room. I'm pretty much going to call this sports hobo.
Well, that's all Joe, so nice work, Joe.
I took about an hour up here one day to decorate.
I'm surprised it took an hour.
Very cost effective. Anyhow, speaking of cost effective, we want to talk about pay-to-play sports.
Right.
And most of the time where you see this is in high school sports, this idea that maybe sport funding should be supplemented by the folks who are actually participating in it.
Sure.
And wanted to kind of get your thoughts about it. So do either of you have experience playing high school sports, and what kind of cost was associated with that for you?
Well, I know for me, for high school sports, I played soccer in high school, and I played lacrosse in high school. And, for playing, especially for lacrosse, we bought our own equipment ourselves, like stick, gloves, and all that kind of stuff, because, you could buy whatever you like, because certain players, I don't like bigger elbow pads, I want smaller ones, or certain type of gloves they like, but, the school did purchase us helmets. We didn't get to keep those, but we used those for 4 years, and after the 4 years were done, they got either sent down to the middle school, or pretty much their life has ran out. And then same thing with soccer, buy your own cleats and your own shin guards. I got my own goalie jersey and stuff like that too. So that was, they gave me the goalie jersey and stuff. So the school would buy some stuff for us, but then other things it was on us.
If you were picky, you could go buy whatever you wanted.
I don't think the school was going to buy it for lacrosse. They weren't going to buy us lacrosse sticks because they're a little too expensive. But they'll get us practice jerseys and a way to give back and stuff. But we didn't anything the school kind of gave us. We didn't really get to keep. We kind of had to give it back at the end.
I gotcha. So that sweaty old helmet that you used for a couple years, got passed on.
Super, super hygienic there.
I hope it got buried in a landfill somewhere.
It's probably hanging up in a wall somewhere, Probably, see my great helmet up there. That's, probably covered in mud and beard hair.
Okay.
Kind
of like you come to work every day.
Pretty much.
So, I played high school sports, what probably considered by you two as the dark ages now, wear leather helmets and no goalies had to actually stand the entire time in hockey. But pay to play in the high school realm, of course, isn't anything new. It just seems to be getting more prevalent, and the cost of it is increasing on a yearly basis because school districts are always finding it hard to continue to fund their extracurricular activities at the high level that maybe previously had been done. So when I played, certainly the high school paid for a great majority of the sports that we played. Of course, that in turn comes from the local community in the form of taxes. And there are certain sports even back then where I played ice hockey, where ice hockey is to put equipment on somebody is a fairly expensive sport compared to most everything else. So the school wasn't purchasing $400 hockey skates for each kid. So there was a situation where each individual had to certainly purchase some of their equipment costs, but outside of the equipment costs, kids these days, and parents, I guess, probably more so than kids, are paying fees that not only go for equipment and jerseys, but also go for field maintenance, coaches' fees, things like that the school districts are no longer subsidizing, which, every school district kind of has to make their own decision based on their local funding sources in order to provide whatever they can provide. So, and then at that point, it gets into kind of an equity issue about, which school district has a better tax base than another school district.
Sure.
So, you can dial it down into a lot of different areas, but it is, like I said, it's not necessarily anything new, but it is getting to levels where people are really starting to feel uncomfortable with it. Plus, they're starting to feel uncomfortable that districts or kids who don't have enough funding at home aren't able to, make the team based on the fact that they just can't pay for it. So that's when you start having some social issues with it.
Yeah, because I know with when I played lacrosse, we did a ton of fundraisers, just mainly like, we're going to buy team gloves or we're going to get new jerseys this year to try to pay for it. They try to pay for it. And we were selling like those little coupon cards and candy bars and that kind of stuff too. So I just wonder if sometimes like fundraising just isn't enough for some of these sports. So no matter what sport you play, it's going to be expensive. Whether it's it go from basketball, if you're telling what sneakers you're getting, to hockey. If you're playing goalie, it's well over like $1,000 I think for just
easily,
leg pads just to be out there too. So.
And certainly some high schools rely on boosters to help, provide some funding for things. When I played high school basketball, we actually had a private donor who, purchased all of our jerseys. And, we didn't all get team sneakers or anything, but he helped with travel and all that sort of thing, which, that's really nice if you have that. But clearly not all schools have that luxury.
Sure. And some schools do and some schools don't. And, a lot of times, too, it comes down to how much a high school sport gets and how well they do in the past couple of years. If you get a program that's not great, you're not going to get kids that who aren't going to I don't want to have to pay for everything and then get beat up on every single game and everything too, like that too. So it's just, and it's tough to think about how schools can help out with paying for it, but also not putting it all in, I guess, though too, because looking at our experience, we all had to pay a little bit of money ourselves to buy equipment on our own to kind of play the sport. So,
Sure. So, what's your guys' opinion? Is this something that you really kind of endorse, or is there maybe an alternative to paying a higher price for participating in high school or scholastic sport?
Well, it's easy to say one way or another, but it's harder to implement anything that you say. So, we're really talking about quality of life issues. And yes, it's sports and it's competitive, but it's still a quality of life, and I don't think that many people assume that competitive high school sports is a poor quality of life.
Right.
So in a sense, you want everybody to have the same opportunity for the same level of quality of life, especially at a public high school, public schools in general. So yeah, I think that you want to have some sort of a cap on the amount that any one student has to pay, as long as it's equal to the next. But I don't know that is implementable, because every area and every school is slightly different. Yeah. So I think it's hard to make that actually happen. But again, schools are tasked with a lot of different things. Extracurricular activities is a quality of life issue. It is about teaching certain, life skills.
Yeah.
But they also need to teach math. They need to teach reading. They need to teach all the things that they need to teach in order for kids to be successful long term in life and in society. I think these days more and more, society in general feels like those are more important than the extracurricular activities. They're happy with them. There's still a lot of people that really believe that that's the greatest thing, but it's becoming fewer and fewer. So you're getting more school boards, more superintendents who are saying, yes, that's important, but not at the funding levels that we had previously. So we're going to ask the people that participate in this to carry a larger burden if that's what they want to do. Mm-hmm. So it's unfortunate, but those are just facts of life. Nothing's free.
Yeah, I mean, kind of go off of that too. Like, yeah, if you're gonna play scholastic sport in high school and stuff like that, there's definitely going to be some cost no matter what. You just can't go out there and expect everything to kind of be handed to you. You're going to have to buy your own cleats. You're going to have to buy your own, practice gear. Like you're going to wear some shorts like that. Or if you need to buy lacrosse sticks or, hockey sticks or like that, you're going to need to kind of purchase them yourselves. I know the school will do their best to kind of cover some of the big costs, I guess, if, they need shoulder pads, stuff like that. But there's going to be costs. It's like, I don't want to say it's like 50-50, but it's going to be the players and the parents are going to have to kind of, help out with paying for the costs that come from the school sports too. So, because not every school has the budget to do that. I know, some of the school sports around here, they sell tickets, I guess, to get inside the stadiums and stuff like that too. But my guess it's not all going to that sport itself, and it kind of has to help out everything too. So.
Yep. Oh, and of course, we're focusing in on the high school realm and public institutions here, but pay to play in the club sport arena or travel this, travel that, that's been happening for a long time, and it's more prevalent, and we could certainly have long conversations about the inequities available in that system too. Sure. So. And that's, I think, the beauty about working in Parks and Recreation is that we're more shaded towards making things available to kids and available to families of most ranges, right? We here at Kent County, we don't offer very many free programs. We don't have a scholarship, but that doesn't mean that we don't try to keep our programs as low, and affordable as possible. We're certainly well underneath travel clubs, well underneath that, and we provide great locations to play, good people to come out and have a good time with. No, we're not a training grounds for the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, but we are a training ground for a positive, healthy life. So sure. That's a good thing.
And it's a great opportunity for a lot of folks who may not otherwise be able to participate to get an opportunity to have those quality of life improvements like you were talking about earlier.
Or just get out there and get a chance to try to do something different that, maybe they wouldn't be able to do otherwise.
And meet people that might be interested in those same things.
Well, speaking of getting involved and having opportunities to participate in different things, Joe, you want to talk to us about what's coming up on deck for Parks and Rec?
What's on deck? So let's look at some upcoming programs. Registration for our summer programs just opened up this past Monday. So if you're looking for a sport or a summer day camp for your youth, then check out ours and don't wait. These programs do fill up fast. We have 2 great bus trips scheduled for May. NYC Manhattan on the 15th and Mount Vernon on the 18th. If you're still working on that summer bod, because I know I am always. Perhaps you'll stay active. We have soul line dancing or aqua size classes starting toward the end of May, and let's not forget upcoming sport instruction programs and sport leagues. From martial arts to soccer, softball, tumbling, and swimming, we have a sport program for you and your youth, and you're sure to enjoy it. To register for any of our programs, you can check us out online at www.co.ken.de.us/parks-recreation.aspx. Love that jingle.
Me too. Well, we certainly had fun spending time with you today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If so, you can check us out on our next episode where we'll discuss what makes a sport a sport. We'll bring you a Jonathan's bad dad joke, and we'll talk to you about some upcoming programs along with giving you your national day for the day. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Talk to you later.
See you later.